Hello and welcome to the Real Positive Girl podcast. My name is Sabrina. Thank you so much for listening, downloading, sharing the show. I truly appreciate it. I just love how people are continuing to love and enjoy the show. And if you do love and enjoy the show, and if you are able to leave a 5-star review or to just leave some sort of uplifting comment or interesting description of the show from your point of view on whatever podcast platform you listen to the show, I would greatly appreciate it. That would just help bring more people into listening to the show and give me the opportunity to help even more people. So if you were able to do that, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you wanted to come by and just chat with me and connect with me on Instagram, I am at Sabrina Joy Perozzo, or you're welcome to send me an email as well. All of that information is in the description box, along with all the notes for the show. But again, I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you downloading and sharing the show. So let's get right into the episode. Thanks so much, guys. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. Happy Tuesday. I hope that you're having a fantastic day on this Tuesday, whether it's just beginning, in the middle, or towards the end. I truly hope you're having a good day. Just a reminder that this week we are talking about how to know you're growing. And today, Tuesday, we are going to talk specifically about you take ownership of your mistakes and responsibilities. But as always, before we jump into that, I would like to review the 5-minute reset. So if you're having a hard day, stressful day, things are getting you down, you feel very overwhelmed, the 5-minute reset is always there for you. All you need is at least 5 minutes to yourself. Take more time if you have it, but you only need 5 minutes to reset, reboot, restart your day right then and there. It allows you to take a break from any issues or burdens that are dragging you down, causing you troubles. Take some time to come up with a resolution for any problems or issues that you're dealing with alone or with someone else. I always encourage everyone to come up with a list of at least 4 things that you are grateful for, big, small, medium size. You can literally be grateful for anything and everything. You can be grateful that you found a really good deal or bargain at like a store that you're shopping at. That recently happened to me. You can be grateful that you're able to volunteer because more things are opening where you live and you're able to give back to the community and to your neighborhood and wherever, and you feel good about that. You can be grateful that you're able to spend more time with your partner and really deepen your relationship or, clear up some misunderstandings and work on communication and just fall deeper in love. Or maybe you are just grateful that your health is still intact and you feel good. You wake up every day and just enjoy every single day. You can be grateful for that too. You can literally be grateful for anything and everything. The list is never ending, which makes it so fantastic. And then last but not least, make sure that you are feeling at least neutral, if not positive, about the rest of your day, because hopefully reflecting on your gratitude list and also just, thinking more positively will help you get through the hard negative times that you may be going through. And it's a lot easier to get through those negative times if you are able to reflect on some positive things that are going well, things that you do feel grateful for. So that's not to diminish what you're going through, just to highlight some things to not let you want to drown your sorrows, and just be in that hole, that pit of despair that we can get caught up in so easily. But I do hope that you're having a good day on this Tuesday. Again, like I said at the beginning, this week we are talking about how to know you're growing. And today, Tuesday, we are talking about you take ownership of your mistakes and responsibilities. So I talk about this all the time. Mistakes are one of the best ways to grow and learn and change in the best ways. And taking up responsibility is the same. You need to carry the weight of the things you are truly responsible for, because by trying to pawn those things off on someone else, you are only making yourself out to be a victim or selfish or both. Now, I don't think anyone wants to be labeled as that. I don't think anyone actually is trying to go out of their way to be classified as a victim. But sometimes that seems like the easier road to take, the one that you think of the most if you are in the habit and the practice of, blaming others or just trying to push that blame off into anyone else other than you because you want to feel like you came out of the whole situation unscathed. You don't want anyone to push any sort of like guilt or blame or some sort of negative tag on you that you have done this, that, and the other. Especially if in your past, a lot of times people would blame you for everything, whether it was your fault or not. You know what I mean? You get caught up in that, and so that kind of creates this mindset in your mind that, wow, other people do that to me, I'm going to do that to them because I don't want anything to be my fault because too many things already in your life were your fault or were classified as your fault. You know what I mean? But it's not an eye for an eye kind of situation that we need to be dealing with or living in at all whatsoever. Whatever, no matter what's going on, that's not the way to do it. You just need to take ownership. You just need to own your mistakes and anything else that you are responsible for. Because we're all adults, right? And we need to be acting like adults. And if you're not an adult yet listening to this, well, it's good practice for being an adult and being responsible and seeming mature and really just doing what you're supposed to be doing. So taking responsibility for your actions will not only create healthy relationships with others, but it will also empower you to know you have control. You have control over what you do with your life, which is important because a lot of times we think we aren't in control of what is going on. Have you ever had that feeling, or maybe you're not even realizing that you have that feeling, but you do? That you're like, I don't really feel like I'm in control of anything that's happening in my life. I feel like I'm in like a tornado and things are just coming and going and everything is so uncertain, but you actually do have control over a lot of things that you do. And maybe not necessarily what happens around you or to you, but you have a lot of control over what you decide to get involved with, what decisions you make, who you are having relationships with. You do have control over a lot of things in your life. So this is really only a facade that you are telling yourself if you believe that you do not have control over anything in your life. And this facade is because of fear, uncertainty, previous experiences of shame or guilt, or anything else that is plaguing you. I want you to know that. And I know it can be really harsh reality to understand that you are you are making this up. You're living an imaginary dream that you don't have control over anything and just everything is out to get you. And life isn't a conspiracy theory. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with conspiracy theories. Personally, I find them very interesting. But your whole life is not a conspiracy theory. It's just not. It can't be. It is just a normal life where uncertainty is there, but also certainty and decisions. And, if you decide not to make those decisions, that is still making a decision, right? You're just like, I'm not going to decide because I don't feel comfortable or I don't know what the right decision is, or I don't want to be held responsible. But you're still going to be held responsible because you didn't make a decision. You made a decision no matter what. No matter what way you spin it, you can't get out of it. You know what I mean? So when you make mistakes, go through failures, do things you may end up regretting, possibly, like no one really wants to walk through life like that, but it happens. It can be really tough to accept that those things have happened. It can. So whatever failure or mistake you've gone through, or whatever decision that you have made, and if it's regrettable or it's something that you wish you could take back, or it's just not the best experience that you've had, it's really tough to own that happened because of you and your actions and whatever decisions that you have made. And a lot of times it is much easier for us to blame the situation or another person or even the universe in general than to own up to what happened, learn from it, and move forward. And so, when you blame the situation, you're like, oh, it's because of this and this and this didn't go right. Or if you blame someone else, or if you blame the universe, where if you are like one of those people that it's like, nothing works out for me. It's really just like a rant of complaints. You're like, nothing works out for me. The universe is against me. everything is not working out for me because I am just not special, or I'm not worthy of it, or like whatever, whatever, whatever. And I feel like that's a real push for you to like decide to blame the universe. But it's a common complaint, and it's a common way to shift blame away because you just don't want it to be on you. You know, it's kind of like having this like big sign on you. That's how you feel. You feel like everyone's going to point and laugh at you and acknowledge and understand and know that you are the one that made all those mistakes, when honestly that's not how life works. You feel like you're exposed, but you're not truly exposed to everyone unless you allow them to know what happened to you, which I think is a good thing because others can learn from that. You will also, by accepting what happened and truly allowing yourself to learn and grow from it, you are becoming a stronger person and continuing on that journey of becoming your best self. But yeah, it's so much easier just to shift that blame than to actually own what happened, learn from it, and move forward. And obviously, the biggest part you are missing out on is learning from those experiences and getting the growth that will help you through the next part of your life. I don't understand why people would want to walk out on this. I mean, I do. Because it doesn't sound fun. It doesn't sound like anything anyone necessarily wants to be a part of. I get that, but it's so crucial. And the more you do it, it just becomes another habit that you're used to, and it'll just become easier and easier. I honestly believe that. I really do. Because it'll just become second nature for you to actually accept what's going on and realize that there could be consequences, repercussions, but that's fine. And growth and learning opportunities abound. It's not a bad thing. You know, it might seem very uncomfortable and sucky in the beginning. I get it. No one wants to have to force themselves to do that, but once you do it and get used to it, and you just do it all the time for everything, big, small, medium, for weird things or mistakes or problems or failures or whatever, it just becomes so much easier for you to understand that these are actually, I would say, things that you should be grateful for, small blessings, because usually if you have enough like mistakes, it could help you prevent yourself from getting yourself into a big mistake. So maybe you have a lot of medium-sized ones or little ones, and it'll help you to avoid making really huge mistakes. You know, I think all of us actually go through at least one big mistake in our life, but by going through those little ones, it helps you to understand and prepare and be able to, you know, avoid being sideswiped by a huge mistake that would take a lot more time to learn and grow from and to move on from, truly. But yeah, you are missing out on it. You're missing out on that growth that will, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, help you get through the next part of your life. It will. A lot of these things are just molded into the plan for your life. I believe that. I truly believe that. I know that a lot of things are uncertain and things that can just like happen, but I do truly believe that a lot of things happen for a reason because they are going to be beneficial to us. We just can't see it. You just can't see that far into the future, but God can, and it's great that He's there doing that and figuring that out for us. But yeah, it's you know, don't miss out on the growth, man. Don't step out on it. I know a lot of people don't like to learn about growth and have to be emotional, but that's what I'm here to talk to you about and to explain to you how amazing it is. So, you know, missing out on that, total bummer. I get it. But how are you supposed to experience personal growth? Ask yourself this question. How are you supposed to experience personal growth? If you choose to grow, if you choose not to grow, rather, if you choose not to grow from any experiences, like how? How is it going to happen? Like, where is the information for this? You know? You can't experience personal growth if you don't choose to grow from any experiences. It's just not going to happen. And I honestly think that you will grow in a way, but you'll grow in a more negative way and more in turn to who you are and become a little bit of selfish and all about yourself and learn and grow to be someone that doesn't want to be responsible for anything and doesn't grow and learn and gets left behind and doesn't continue to progress in your life on that journey to becoming your best self. And maybe you're like, I don't want to be my best self. If that's the case, wow, that's case is not a word. If that's the case, I ask you why you're here listening to this podcast, because it's very much about personal growth, self-help, mental health, bettering yourself. Secondly, if you're just like, I'm not into it right now, what are you into right now? What is your main focus in life? What is important to you? What are your goals in life? If you are not interested in becoming your best self right now, then what are you actually becoming right now? What are you spending your time on? And why are you spending your time on those things and not something that will just enrich your life fully and be beneficial to you when you're, going after all these other goals in your life? You really should ask yourself that, if that's like a true statement for you, and figure that out. Also, I want you to think about how immature and untrusting you sound when you are trying to push off blame of something you know in your heart you were responsible for. Like, maybe that doesn't, like, I'm not trying to scare you or anything, but I think you should really think about the immaturity that you are displaying to others when you decide not to. And even if it's alone to yourself, does that make you feel good? Maybe you just decide that you don't feel that way. Maybe you decide that since you're alone and no one else knows what happened, you don't have to label yourself as immature. Okay. But just know that when someone finds out, which inevitably everyone does, mostly about those kinds of things, even someone personal to you, it still will be labeled as immature and not being an actual adult and not being able to be trusted, because why would anyone trust someone that doesn't want to take ownership or responsibility for any of their actions, beliefs, decisions? Like, they can't be trusted to be there for them, or they can't be trusted to follow through. They can only be trusted to come up with an excuse. So let's chat about some ways you can work on owning your mistakes and responsibilities. Today, I only have 3 tips for you that I feel like would be helpful. So the first one is to stop blaming others. You can't continually go on in your life and blame others for everything happening to you, for the decisions that you made, because you're saying like, oh, they made me decide that. Or, it's the same thing as blaming others for how you're feeling. You're like, oh, they made me angry, or they made me sad, or they made me fall in love with them, or whatever it is. That is so childish and played out. You need to understand that you are making decisions consciously in your mind. You are following through with actions. You are making those mistakes or victories. A lot of people, have you ever noticed that how when good things happen, people are so quick on it to be like, yeah, that was me. You will claim anything that's positive, but anything negative, everyone wants to take like 10 steps back and be like, I don't know if I really want to like slap my name on that. But you have to. It has to go both ways. And honestly, the more that you do both ways, the stronger you'll become, and you'll probably be more in the like positive category than the negative. But we always need that balance of those things happening so we can continue to grow. But it's important for you to stop blaming others, because that's not going to accomplish anything. It's going to ruin a lot of relationships in your life. Also, you will not feel good about yourself at some point down the line. If it doesn't happen immediately or shortly thereafter, it'll happen at some point, and great regret and feeling bad about what you did will come over your heart, and that's not great either. So stop blaming others. Why are you trying to make someone else feel bad? Why are you trying to like displace your pain and discomfort onto someone else? Like, how is that being a good friend or a good partner or good, like, sister, brother, whatever, friend, acquaintance? Don't you feel bad for doing that? I would feel terrible. Number 2, know what you want. You're like, how does that even play into that? Know what you want. It's easier to take responsibility for your actions when you can identify the reasons why you made those actions, because you know what you want. So if you know what you want in life, you know that you want to accomplish this thing or you want to go after that thing, then it'll be a lot easier for you to take responsibility for your actions and thoughts, because you have reasons for why you are going through with those actions and thoughts and decisions. There are reasons attached. It's not just like reckless behavior or, and maybe you're like, it's never reckless behavior. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But knowing exactly what you want and kind of like what your plan is and then going after those things makes things a little bit tighter and not so loose and carefree. And knowing what you want will encourage you to take responsibility for the decisions you make, because you know that you made that plan and you're going to execute it the way that you desire. And if it doesn't work out, that's fine. You can own that, but then continue to move forward with the new information that you've gained from that experience. Oh man, I can't say it enough. But yeah, just know what you want. Figure out more about knowing what you want. If you have a hard time with that, as I did for the longest time, still do sometimes, you need to work on doing it in small waves. Do you know what you want to feel like day to day? Do you know what you want to feel like in your body, or when you say certain things to your partner, to your friends, to your lover? Do you know what you want for dinner? Do you know what you want your home to look like? Or do you know what kind of relationship you want with your kids or your friends? And, just continue to grow and grow and grow and ask yourself bigger and bigger questions as time goes on, and you will learn from that process and it'll become easier. Number 3, and the last tip I have, is to let go of your excuses. Let go. You always have a choice. You always have a choice to make the right decision. And maybe at the time you're like, well, Sabrina, I didn't know what the right decision is. Okay, sure. But you always have a choice of to make that decision or another decision or whatever. There's generally usually 2 decisions at the minimum. And like so many others, endless amounts in other times. But you have to understand that you have a choice to make, and that choice is yours to make. And you have to let go of your excuses on why you can't make that choice, or if you're trying to explain away a reason why you made that choice and why you should not be held accountable for that choice because of whatever things. It's another excuse. Blaming other people is an excuse. Coming up with a reason why you shouldn't be held accountable for those decisions is an excuse. Why you should be thought of as the victim is an excuse. You had a choice. You could have done something different. You could always make a different choice, no matter what it is. Even if you're handed like a choice where nothing seems like a good option, you still had a choice. And it's not to say that if you make the wrong choice that it's the end of the world. It's just like you have to understand that you made the wrong choice, and you have to move forward with that information. You have to learn and grow from it, like I say all the time. Broken record, I know. But to learn and grow from it and move forward, and it will help you to become a better person. It really will. I promise you. Just give it a try. Give it a try for like a month and come back to me. Okay? It will. I promise you. So let go of your excuses. And I honestly think that letting go of your excuses, blanket through your whole entire life, will help you to understand yourself more, understand what you want, what you don't want, and how you might get yourself into certain situations that you find comfortable, where you feel like you need to explain your way, the reasons why you were in that situation. Hopefully, will help you figure out which ones you actually should be involved in or not. You see what I mean? There's so many opportunities to grow and learn from taking responsibility for your actions, your mistakes, your failures, whatever it is. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about this, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Again, with me, Sabrina. Check the description box below for notes for the show, where to find me on Instagram, which is my personal account, but also the show account where I just talk all about the show, give updates if necessary, random motivations here and there. But the other one's my personal account where I do a little bit of motivation over there too, but I just talk about my day, my life as a mom, full-time job, blah, 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 whatever. So you're welcome to follow me and join me over there. I encourage you to come say hi, connect with me. I do randomly give out little gift cards if you do come and connect with me and say hi and follow along with my journeys on Instagram, because I just want to get to know you guys. I love understanding whether you like the show or not, if you have any feedback for me, and just how you're liking it. So do that if you want, or you can send me an email, and all of these options allow you to send me any questions, comments, concerns, prayer requests, feedback, topic suggestions, or just to say hey, hi, and hello to me. But Tomorrow, we are going to be talking about you can accept those different from you. You will know that you are growing because you can accept those different from you. But until then, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.